Most people's idea of what a psychopath is probably comes from one of these films.
You know, we are often fascinated by things that are very outside our normal experience, but I wouldn't say that what you see in movies and literature is an entirely accurate representation of a majority of individuals with psychopathy.
It is estimated about 1 in every 100 people are psychopaths. Although Hollywood psychopaths tend to be serial killers, not all psychopaths are violent, nor are all violent people psychopaths. So what actually makes someone a psychopath?
Psychopathy is a personality disorder, and individuals who are psychopaths have high levels of a number of maladaptive traits. And one thing that is particularly characteristic of individuals with psychopathy is that they lack empathy and guilt. So these are individuals who really don't feel for other people's distress and who don't feel bad about the transgressions that they engage in. These individuals are also characterized by not having typical attachment relationships with other people, so they are happy to interact with other people as long as it's beneficial to them. These individuals are also often impulsive, so they make poor decisions, and they can often be very focused on getting rewards for themselves but don't really compute the potential consequences of their actions. Individuals who qualify for the label of psychopathic personality disorder are also antisocial. Essentially, they live lives that are parasitic, where they exploit other people to their own ends.
Like other mental health conditions, these personality traits are difficult to diagnose on a chance meeting, but with the right material, there are reliable ways to accurately identify psychopathy.
When people diagnose psychopathy, they use evidence from multiple sources of behaviors that would indicate that here is somebody who does lack empathy, who lies, who cheats, who's violent. But when people do the diagnosis, they usually use information from social services files, from criminal justice system, and they also conduct semi-structured interviews.
Nobody is born a psychopath. In the same way that some individuals may have more genetic vulnerability to heart disease, there are individuals who are more vulnerable to developing these psychopathic tendencies. But what can be done to prevent them from manifesting?
There is a lot of good data showing that, particularly in children and young people, incentivizing good behavior works very well. I think it's more debatable to what extent you can alter someone's ability to resonate with other people's emotions and naturally feel empathy for them. And I often use the anxiety disorder as an example to illustrate what I mean. So we know that individuals with anxiety disorder can be successfully treated. You can teach them techniques to help them regulate their anxiety and pay attention to things other than those that trigger anxiety in them. But these individuals will never be the most chilled out individuals on the planet.
There is very little data on psychopathy in non-criminal settings. Some may fear that our social media-obsessed society that's full of egocentric celebrities could lead to more unsociable behavior patterns. Do these promote problematic tendencies?
There is no good data that I know of that looks at whether psychopathic behaviors are promoted by particular cultural shifts or cultural settings, for instance. That is an interesting area of research, and the fact that these sorts of traits survive in the gene pool and within the population do suggest that they have some adaptive function. And we might infer from the fact that it appears that particular professions have higher concentration of individuals with these sorts of traits, that there are certain cultures that perhaps either promote these sorts of traits or are more conducive environments for these sorts of traits to be advantageous.
There's still plenty more to learn about the human brain, how it develops, and how much your environment can impact you. Psychopathy affects only 1% of the population, but that 1% can cause an untold amount of havoc and suffering around them. And that's precisely why scientists and policymakers are interested in studying the condition.